right, we are live. Hey guys, it's your boy Scrub Lord. I just want to make this a live stream because like we're actually having a bit of a discussion in the server a little bit, different opinions, um, biblical based opinions, and of course differing opinions as far as what the word gender means. I thought this was a very good conversation to engage with, but it also may it also may leave for a different portion, as in like we may go into other topics. So forgive me for the misleading title if we don't stay on it too long because I kind of caught the tail end of this a little late because it's really good. It's really good. But with that being said, let me get in there. All
You
right,
got
all
punished
right,
for it
all
and he died.
right. Hey
Oddly
guys,
similar to
I
the
just came back. I
but
just came back.
Stop it, Alex. Oh, please.
We are live. Well, I think this is
My
all right.
is that
all right. Be careful with
All right.
those.
All
Be
right,
careful
yeah.
with those sound effects there, Alex, because it may come a bit differently through the
Yeah,
Discord,
you
or
might
through
get
the live
man
stream.
don't want to
copyrighted.
fuck.
You don't want that.
All right, bro. Go
All
ahead and
right.
call Alex.
Let me just switch over a little bit. But yeah,
Brother, get muted.
I think it is. I think it is a healthy conversation to have. All right, I stepped down for
And
literally
what
3 minutes.
conversation?
What did I miss?
What conversation? The last question was like well, it was a short discussion about flat Earth. I don't think anybody really said anything about it
Darn it.
besides someone believed it was round. But
Well,
the other thing was I think Bree
That's
asked
not
me what was
true.
my opinion on abortion.
Oh, yeah.
okay, okay.
Man don't want to fuck.
What do
I
you?
already answered it, Leo. I
Alex,
can
stop
say
Uh,
it
it.
again if you
so
want.
so so essentially, my title is gonna be misleading. Oh, that's unfortunate.
What was the title?
Well,
We can go
I
back and do
said,
it.
well, I titled this Discord Late Night Discussions: Gender and the Bible.
Hey, bro, I'm down for that discussion. Any one of them can hit me with the discussion. I'll answer all their questions, and
Also,
I'll do it.
did Truth Apologetics run? Oh my gosh, did he run?
How about the server me and him? He's disrupting the
Oh my
stream.
God.
Well, it's all right. It's all right. This is the first
Actually,
time
he's
I'm
just
doing
disrupting
this.
everybody.
This could be our little podcast. All right. So where did we end off? Because I'm sure y'all ran away from the
We
topic.
ended off at Truth Apologetics saying, let's change the topic. Does
Of course.
anybody care about flat Earth?
No,
No.
No.
it's not real.
Who
The Earth
cares
is
about flat
round.
Earth? It's not even
Dude,
real.
I
The
agree
Earth
with Bree. The Earth is
The
round,
moon
not
is
flat.
round, so what makes you think Earth is flat?
Listen, dude, I believe
Huh?
that the moon is made of
What
cheese.
is?
So everybody
Hey,
here,
hey.
just
What does the moon being round have to do with the Earth being flat?
the
Absolutely
moon is
Wait,
not
nothing, but
round.
I
It
it's
was
have
made of
perfect. It's
cheese.
so
I
beautiful.
have one, yo. Yo, I have one. Is water
What's up?
wet?
What's up?
Well,
Oh my
that's a good.
goodness, stop
Okay,
it.
I think it is wet, and yeah. What do y'all think?
I think it's wet.
I don't know.
I
Is it?
think
Alex,
that
let's get your opinion real quick.
I think water is a liquid, and that liquid is wet, and
Yeah.
it
Oh my
makes things
goodness.
that it touches wet.
Hmm. All right. You know what? We're going back to the topic of gender in the Bible, but
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
I'm
sir.
a,
I
I'm gonna
wanted to talk
open
about this.
I'm gonna open it up with this because obviously words have meaning, but really, what does it mean to identify yourself? And because the real crux of this conversation really is number one, um, does one's identity and how one identifies deny the Lord's masterful hand in their life and how the Lord defines us, and most definitely does what does it mean for it to be sinful, and do these things like universally work with one another, or are they opposed to one another? Can one identify as a non-binary or whatever and not committing any of the actions or whatnot that is associated with, I guess, the LGBTQ, and still be in agreement with God's word? Yes or no?
I feel like it's a yes, Leo, but I feel
Yeah,
like the LGBTQ doesn't really have anything like I don't know what it have to do with this subject. It's not like sexuality or sex that we're talking about. It's just gender.
Also,
Because sex is explicitly
Wait, hold on.
yeah.
Alex is
Go ahead.
muted.
oh, he's muted. I don't know who muted him.
It's
Yeah,
because
But
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
playing the
but
soundboard
before
and
we get
stuff.
into that, before we get into that, like Alex did answer in the chat here. Water isn't wet because it's a wicked. It's a liquid that wets things. Once you come into contact with water, you become wet. Until then, water is liquid and you are dry.
So in concentration, water is wet. Is
What?
what he's saying?
Something like
Is
that.
he
But
saying when water comes into contact with water, it wets it? So,
yeah,
I'll be honest.
hey,
He scared me with that picture, bro.
yes, he did. I think that's Eli. But getting back to the topic, finish
but
what you were
for
saying.
Wait,
hey,
what?
if you continue to use soundboards and voice changers and all that, and being disruptive with it, man.
That is.
Yeah,
Oh Lord. All right, we're gonna mute you for
yeah,
now, Alex.
Alright, come back later. I
yeah.
Just because
apologize.
everybody unanimously is like, nah, we ain't feeling that. But yeah, as far as what you were saying, in relation to the gender conversation, and from time to time, I will go to general text chat just so the viewers can see Ree's responses because they are vital in this conversation, giving us of I guess a nuanced perspective of how they view how they like, this issue or this disagreement, this discussion.
You're.
But
Are you gonna ask them certain questions? Do you want them to respond,
well,
or
I
just
mean,
want?
like really, this is a conversation of just gender in the Bible, and given they related to one's identity, do you, I guess first question is, do you guys think that one's identity um um is impacted by how they identify?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
That's a good
what
question.
do you
Yeah.
mean by that?
Like so say one person earlier was talking about how if you identify as a non-binary, you are no longer agreeing with one's biological birth. You you are saying no, like you're disrespecting God. You're saying no, this is not how I was made. This is how I feel. This is how I was made. And this seems to invoke like I guess um a bit of relationship between how what one says their identity is and and does this impact how their identity before God and how they're in agreement with God or in disagreement with God. Let me go to general text chat real quick.
Man,
Alex, you can't keep invoking that, Alex. You can't keep saying you didn't know it was on. But let's see. Ree's response from the of course
Alex, take that out of chat.
we will unmute you in a minute after I read off of Ree's responses. Ree has posted two pictures in the chat because obviously they don't want to speak. That's all right. But the male sex or the female sex, especially when considered with reference to social and cultural differences rather than biological ones, or one of a range of other identities that do not correspond to the established ideas of male and female. Okay, and I'm guessing this is what plays into what it means when they say gender. Gender is gender essentially is do these like I guess it poses the question, does how traditionally masculinity and femininity is described, like is that what's the right word, uh, is that how one should project their sex, I guess is one way of 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 asking that question. Nothing.
y'all got
Leo, I ain't gonna lie.
me in.
I didn't hear what she just said. Give me a second, bro. What'd you
Oh
say?
my gosh. uh,
Say it one more time. Say it one more
Wait,
time. One
I was
time.
paying
all
I'm
right,
not
attention.
educated
I was
enough
too
for
busy
this.
watching the
you
stream.
don't have to be educated. I all right, basically okay,
But
I think reset it best here. Gender identity being separate from biological sex and how the Bible feels about it. There. See, simple as that. Let's see. Alex has put all delusion, assigned female at birth, a way to communicate sex. Mark, it's a bit of cutoff there. Ally and an ally is a person who confronts heterosexism and sexism and I'm going to say homophobia, probably.
What is blood waffling on?
Hold on. Oh right, he's mute. Well, don't worry. I do have his responses. Like I can live stream it from the Discord personally. So how Re interacts with the chat, like we can work with this. We can work with this. All right, Alex. I'm going to yeah. See, he's not comfortable with that, but that's okay. Like we're respectful here. All right, Alex. I'm gonna take the opportunity to unmute you. Please don't make me regret it.
Please, Alex. I'm begging you.
Alex, what I want to ask you with also with what you posted, what does that add on to the context of sex and gender identity?
What do you mean?
Being assigned male or female at birth, uh, being separate from gender, what does that have to do with it?
What is it? So you're asking me what I think on the difference between gender and sex?
No, the different. It's not about. Well, we already posted the definitions, but the question is, what does that add to the conversation of it? What? Why did you
What
post
does
that?
what add to the conversation?
What you posted?
Oh, I was just stating a factual claim.
Okay.
It,
Okay.
it had nothing to do with the conversation. I was just saying that all this mentally ill stuff.
What is bro on about?
Dude, just click on it. Click on the message. Look at how many.
I've
You
already
see
looked
how
at it.
Yeah,
All right, let's look in
exactly.
the messages
Leo,
real
if
quick.
Oh
we're
wait,
gonna
wait.
talk about
Does it keep going? Oh, it does.
Yes. You can scroll
I
down.
didn't know you could slide it. Maybe it's
Third
arranged.
gender.
Wait, you can
Smart.
slide it?
GI.
Oh my lord, you
Yes.
I
can
didn't even know
expand.
that.
Whoa, this is
It's gonna be
huge.
used arranged.
Exactly. Mentally ill.
Oh my god.
stop,
What is
Alex.
wrong with bro?
Well, this is a conversation of opinions and discussions about this because I do want to wrestle with the idea.
Actually,
Go ahead.
still, no. Still, I looked at the whole thing. It just does not seem to be. It just doesn't seem to add anything.
I know. It didn't mean to add any.
Oh, so you just post it just to post it? I mean,
Can you guys
All
see
right,
my
bro.
live stream?
Yes, we can,
uh,
but I
What are you
really do
streaming?
not care for Just Cause 3.
I don't know, but as far as the conversation goes, um, Alex, you are admittedly on the side of this is sin. Explain that for me.
Well, I've always been raised that there's two sexes, gender, whatever. It doesn't matter if it's a social construct. There's sexes, okay? I don't care. It's male, female. You reproduce as male, female. If you are gay, you do you. You respect them. Right?
Hmm.
I'm as old fashioned as they come, right? I'm old. I'm Pentecostal. Right? I'm old fashioned, right?
Even
I'm
though
not.
you're only
I'm
14.
not someone
Be
who
nice.
is
Hey,
what?
this kid's cool. He's smart.
What did Kanye say?
No, it wasn't him. That was Eli.
That was me.
What did Eli
Eli.
say?
He said even though
Eli
you're
should be disagreeing
14.
with me. I thought Eli
I'm
was
best friends with this man.
Nah.
exactly. I thought Eli.
Okay, finish what you were saying. Finish what you were saying.
Finish, finish,
So
finish what you were
I I
saying, Leo.
think I just think naturally. I think biologically, right? I'm a man of order. I'm not a man of confusion. And if you are demi dream attack helicopter cup plate, you do you, but you're weird. You're mentally ill. Okay, get him
Okay.
out of here. Pack him up.
Sorry.
Wow.
What?
This man said attack
Get him
helicopter
out of here.
cup.
Pack him up. You can't reproduce. I mean, what? Two women? What is that? Two hot dog buns? Like, what is this? Like, get that out of here.
Uh,
Okay.
I,
Okay,
I
Alex.
honestly don't understand what bro's talking about.
Basically, he's explaining where he comes from. I mean, as we know, people come from different backgrounds.
No,
He's
like
saying
the
this is how he was raised, and obviously
oh, it's just
this
saying it's how he's raised.
yeah, this is what informs his opinion on like.
I'm
But
conservative. I'm
I want
conservative.
to understand what does it mean like because I wonder how this translates to how because regardless of how you were raised, you and I both agree on the same scriptures, the Holy Bible, the 66 books. So I want you to I guess articulate if you can articulate it to how because they've identified male and female as just the sex. They've put it exclusively as just determining sex, meaning they confirm that they agree there's only two sexes. So they're using gender as an allegory for how they identify
Well, yes,
themselves.
and that's stupid. It's stupid. There's no need. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Don't just create another word that originally meant the same
Agreed.
thing. Change the definition to support your sin. No, get that out of here. See, the thing is there's going to be more and more in 30 years. There's going
Can
to be a
I
set of
interject really
new
quick?
words that do not interrupt me. There's going to be a set of new
All
words
right,
Well, that's
you're
fair.
talking
that are
good.
Well, that's
going
fair. Hold on,
Don't be
because
rude about it. Jeez.
obviously
I'm not being rude. No, 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 no. I'm
this
not being
will
rude,
get
but
into
Kanye keeps
discussion.
interrupting me.
He wants to finish his point. He wants to finish his stance. That this
Yeah,
is
and I want to say I'm not trying to be rude, and I've been nice this entire time, but Kanye has cut me off at least 5, 6 times. So just how Leo was rude to me when I not rude, firm
hmm.
with me when I was using the soundboard, I can be firm with you if you're interrupting. It's only fair. All right. Anyway, so
Don't
as
do
I
it to
was
me
saying,
because I get on you.
that's true. I was saying
Don't be
this.
messing with my brother Mikael. He go put that in check. He gonna be like, you think you can buck up to adults? Nah, that boy Mikael.
Mikkel will not mess around.
I
Will not
love my
mess
brother
around.
Mikael. He don't play that games.
Amen. Yeah. No, but Mikkel, also, you've been quiet. Do you want to input anything?
He's been server deafened. He hasn't been here the whole time.
No, 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 no,
Well,
no. I was watching the basketball game. I wasn't really in the chat really, so I'm
Okay.
good.
you're okay, Miguel.
Hmm.
Okay.
What do you?
But
Oh yeah, go ahead.
But basically, I mean, oh, okay. Here's what I think. I'm gonna give you a couple points. Number one, there's two sexes and or gender. It can be that it can be all it can be moved. It can be used the same way. Okay. I don't care about social construct. I don't care about pansexual. If you get aroused when you walk into the kitchen, I don't care. Okay.
Hmm.
Number two, obviously I know that's not what pansexual is. Number two,
Oh my
I'm sorry.
gosh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I laughed so hard at that. I'm so sorry. I want to input
It's
something.
okay. I mean, like, we're
number
literally
two.
hearing diverse perspectives. Okay, we'll make
Yes,
it,
number two.
but do try to make it short, Alex, because we want to get
Yes,
into the
I am.
discussion.
That's why I'm putting it in the point.
Mhm.
Number two, reproduction is through a man and a woman. Leviticus 20:13, 18:22, etc. It's impossible to
Agreed.
reproduce without having an egg and a sperm. Number three, my last point. Anything that isn't I'm a male, if you just don't find interest in people, be celibate. Don't get married. That's you. But the only choices you have is don't get married or get married. There's no sex before marriage. That's wrong. But the choices you have, there is no I get to go out. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's old fashioned. If it's good enough for my family, it's good enough for me. It's good enough for Billy Graham. It's good enough for me. My point is that why are we moving away from the old fashioned, the people say archaic. It is not. We do not have to change everything. Like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's it. And I'm not going to argue with Ray saying it's incorrect, which there's something called opinion, and your opinion is wrong. Done. Okay? What
Oh
I'm
my
saying is
goodness.
biological fact. Get out of my face.
Uh,
Okay. All right. Strong
I,
opening. Go ahead,
okay,
Loxy.
so what I want to tackle every single one of his points, like 1 through 4.
Hmm.
I want you to go ahead and relist your first statement, right? Because that's a lot to take in for me just to respond to.
Yes, that I
That's
said
why I
sex
asked
and
to
gender
interject
are.
so I can respond to it.
I'm not okay. I'm not having the same argument that gender and sex don't mean. I don't. Whatever it is, there's two, and it's male and female. I don't care if it's called blinkies, two
Two
blinkies,
blinkies.
whatever the name is. It is two, male and female. I
Well,
don't care.
referring to sex, well, if you don't care, then that's just like that you're separating yourself from the conversation entirely, and there need be no point in you participating. But
No, but it's the
besides
same
that,
argument that's been going on for.
no, wait, just let me continue. Anyway, besides that, in the definition, like objectively, you are incorrect. Like there's no opinion put into it. Really, is you just are incorrect when you're saying there are only two genders. Because gender, by definition, no matter if the definition has been
Not
changed from
always. The definition has changed. The definition has
the
changed.
current definition, anyway, any word could be used to represent the definition. The word could be called jiggler higgler, and it still mean the same thing. It
That's my.
the word's meaning has just been changed, and
Hmm.
that goes into how we view dialect socially anyway. someone from a foreign country could like have like a similar, like let's say they pronounce it and it says like it's a gender, but to them it literally means like candy,
Mhm.
right? That just goes into social
Yeah, just look what I put
dialects.
in chat, and that's my whole stance on. Just
Oh,
look
you
what I
just.
put in chat.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all you need.
Let's hope it's not long. Oh my
Well,
lord.
Like 8
that's
seconds.
simple because objectively,
I do not.
that's
You can cry
objectively.
all you want. There's two
I
games.
agree with Alex.
All right.
Well,
Y'all make me want to go to
okay,
sleep.
now that we've got past well, just sex and anything,
Mm-hmm.
I'll read the definition of gender, so everything
Yes,
is
again,
clear.
here we go. For the 5th
A
time, I'm hearing the
male or
same definition.
female
Breathe,
sex,
Alex.
especially when considered with reference to social and cultural differences rather than biological ones, or one of a range of other identities that do not correspond to established ideas of male and female. Gender is separate from male and female biology,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's what they are in their identity
You're just
and
defending
part of
yourself.
who they are. It it's like saying being a male makes up your identity, and that could just be wrong.
Yes, and that's true. So you're telling me, how does being a female not make up? No, no, I'm not saying that if you're a female,
Personal
you know,
identity.
personal identity can be something else that doesn't have to do with changing it to an attack helicopter. Personal identity is,
It
oh, I
has
like
nothing to
certain
do with that.
things. I like.
By definition, it has nothing to do with the attack helicopters. That's just incorrect statement.
Mm.
No, but
I think he's using that as an example.
yes, I'm using that as
Like,
an example.
Okay.
as
Like
if,
even
like,
with that example, the question,
there.
like one has to question because again, the reason I actually did this is because like we're floating around the topic of how one identifies being sinful, which is interesting because Ree is one who agrees that he is a biological male. So therefore, we should be
But it doesn't
kumbaya.
change the
Hold on,
fact.
that's the interesting thing about it because now the question becomes: does how one identify play into their sex, and even then, um, how does one's identity relate to sin?
So, does what you identify as change who you are?
That's a good question because
Biologically, no, but in today's society,
What do
people
you?
will.
So if I identify,
Mhm.
if I identify, okay, hold on.
take your
Me,
time.
Kanye, and Ray, answer this. I want you to both answer it. Ray, answer in chat. Kanye, answer in voice.
Mhm.
Does
Yeah.
what you identify as change who you are?
Does what you identify as change who you are as a person?
Yes. Yes.
Uh, no.
Exactly. It does nothing. It does nothing for you except it's a delusional mental
What do you mean
illness.
change for you? It depends on what you mean change like their personality, the way they view things, right? Does that change based on how
Yes,
you
that's just a
identify?
normal person. So you just proved my point. You just proved my point
Hmm.
that you do not have to incorporate the word gender. All you have to say is, I like said thing. That is my personality. You do not have to include omni, gender. You don't have to use the word gender. You can just say you like that certain thing or you act a certain
Like
way.
that
You
certain
don't have
thing
to use
or
gender.
act a certain way. When you're saying, but the thing is, when you're saying you're gender neutral, you're saying you don't act in a certain way according to your biological sex or characteristics, right?
It's impossible to
Hmm.
not act anything. It's
Well,
impossible to not act anything.
not necessarily. I mean, we
Eh,
both agree that humanity is like being created in the likeness of God should be drawn to acting godly and what is confirmed and natural by the scriptures. As God defines what is natural, we stay with the natural as we are designed. But clearly, humanity currently isn't.
I don't
Is
think it's possible for someone to just act nothing. I don't think that's possible.
what is that? What is act nothing?
it's not. This isn't sex though. You have to remember we're talking about
No, but I'm not
gender.
talking about sex.
Mhm.
I'm talking about thought point of view. Right,
Hmm?
nothing.
Explain.
You can't think of nothing. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Because if you, for example, if your version of nothing is a box, that's something. So my point is that what you think you are or feel comfortable identifying as does not change who you are. That changes how you feel, but that doesn't do anything to you as a person. It
How
doesn't
you
change anything.
identify does not change how you feel.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna go. You guys have a
It
good one.
can.
No
Yes, it
problem,
can.
Caleb.
All right.
Peace,
I'll
Can
see you
peace.
later.
Kanye.
God bless and stay blessed.
It can't. Well, actually, say that one more time. I just want to hear
I'm
what you're
saying
saying one more
what you
time.
identify as can change how you feel towards certain things. Is my point. How is
Why
that not
why would
changing?
why would it change how you feel towards certain things?
So if I identify as a liberal, I look at certain things in a liberal point of view. If I change
When
my identification,
we're referring to gender, we're referring to characteristics that like. Oh, hold up. Let me go back to the definition. Actually,
Yeah, go ahead.
fine.
Yeah,
I
head.
identify as feminine, or I identify as
that's a
feminine.
political party.
As
I like
feminine?
fine,
Is that oh
feminine,
fundament? Is that what? Wait, explain that. What?
feminine, whatever. It's 1 in the morning. I can't. Anyway,
Yeah.
I identify foodie, okay, girly, okay, identify girly. So I like, pink. I like wearing dresses. That
No.
does not. That
That's a
helps me
character.
feel.
That's a characteristic of a. Well, actually, it's not even a characteristic of a woman.
Hmm.
I'm a girl and I don't like pink, and nor do I wear dresses.
Yes, I know. I was using a stereotype. Can I please continue? Thank you. Anyway, so I act feminine and I do feminine things. That
Hmm.
changes how I feel. I feel feminine towards things. If I identify as masculine, then I feel masculine. I don't understand. That's common sense.
Okay. Question though, because you would say that obviously these things as in the way one's identified. So let's play on that stereotypical. You feel feminine. Is that sinful though?
Well, no, I don't think that's sinful. But if
Okay.
well,
Hear me
hold
out.
on.
Okay, but I
It's
was like yeah, because how you answer that question is interesting given we have somebody who acknowledges the
well, you didn't let
biology.
me finish though.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Go ahead.
Just because you like things that are called by society feminine or pink, like you like the color pink. What
Hmm.
I'm seeing this as, and I could this whole argument could be wrong because I'm seeing it wrongly. What I'm seeing being gender neutral as is that, or genderless or gender neutral, is that you don't, like, if let's say, okay, I'm gonna put myself in their shoes. I'm a
Hmm.
man and I want to act feminine. So I talk that way. I act feminine. But
Walk
wait, hold
that
on.
way.
We didn't ask this question though. We never asked this question.
What's the question?
What is Ray attracted to? Are they
Was very.
attracted? Are they?
I don't think that's relevant to the conversation at hand at all.
Right?
Matters
That
what
could be fair
they're attracted to.
because this is not about sex or I guess what one's attraction. This is purely identity relating to either A, it's sinful, or B, mean sinful as in it's a disagreeing with God, or B, are we blowing this out of proportion?
So is it okay? So if a you ever heard the phrase tomboy, where a woman would play sports, would play
Yeah, yeah.
baseball, something like that. So is that them identifying masculine?
No.
Say that again.
Is a tomboy identifying as masculine?
No.
The tomboy identifying as masculine.
He's basically
Well,
saying like a
a
girl is like
tomboy is
sports.
being masculine.
All right. And by the way, Ari just said in chat, being gender neutral is your identity, i.e., your biological sex not being integral to your identity and who you are as a person.
Well, then yeah, that's why it's sinful. Because if
Hmm.
you don't take, okay, that just proves why it's sinful.
Go ahead.
If you're telling me that what you are born is not what you are. That's literally what I'm understanding.
Hold on. Hold
I
on.
said it's
That
not.
what you're
They
They
said it's not integral to you as a person.
That's my point. Your sex is who you are as a person.
is it
Yes, it is.
really? Okay.
Yes,
So
it
this is
definitely is.
interesting. And why?
Men and women op
Like, I
men
want to harp in on that. Why?
because men and women operate differently.
Okay.
They're
On
different.
what
Men and women is a
spectrum?
different gender. Men and women are not identical.
Is
They
this
have different
relating
You
to the
mean
bodies.
they're
Bible?
different? Men and women are a different sex.
Is this relating to
Exactly.
Biologically,
biblical?
they are
So my
different.
Is this relating to biblical roles or pure biology? As in, this is where people have, this is where
well,
different
it could be
conversations.
both. Biblically, they're definitely different. There's
Okay.
verses on man and woman.
What do you mean by they're different? You mean their roles are different, or they like intellectually are different?
Well, I mean,
Both.
if oh, go ahead.
Logically,
Both. I'm
Okay,
not
women
saying
prove
women
have
are
that.
dumber
different
or men.
brains
I'm
than
not
Prove
men
saying
that.
do.
Hold on. Oh, Eric wants to say part on this. Go ahead, Eric.
I was gonna say, biologically, done by scientists and biologists, women and men, the reason why they're different is not, it sure is because one is their physical features, sure. Second, it's how they are wired,
exactly.
okay? Naturally, they are wired a different way than men are. That's why you see the
But
majority of
Eric,
women, hold on, the
mm,
majority of women, they tend to be, told as you're more of a caretaker, you're more softer and more, whatever, right? Men are harsher, we think a certain way, right?
mm,
So we
that
That's
do.
true.
Eric,
We do.
I need your
Now,
to think a certain
now.
way. Think a certain way. What do you mean by we think a certain way,
So,
I can show you an article.
Our minds.
naturally speaking,
Alex? I'm asking one person, bro.
Yeah.
naturally speaking, someone's typing. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked with the typing.
All right.
Naturally speaking, men tend to think
Mhm.
of, or not think, but focus on one thing at a time. Okay,
Prove that,
traditionally, that's just how it is. How can I prove that? That's
Eric.
majority of
That
men.
reasoning is circular. You would
I
have to
don't I
prove
don't
that.
care. So I don't have to prove
I
anything.
don't
That's
care.
just
It's not an
naturally.
argument, Eric. That's a
Well,
That's
self-defeating
naturally.
argument,
You don't have to do tests to do that.
mm,
That's naturally.
Eric.
Because
That is a
no,
self-defeating
stop. I
argument.
will not continue if you don't let me to
to
continue.
be fair, yeah, let him
Okay.
finish, and then we can like pick apart what
So,
he's saying.
um, and in this conversation, um, I will not, okay, um, I will not go to the, how do I say this? Because I am a Christian, and yes, I am using that in my defense.
Mhm.
So in reality, you can, you know, go somewhere else with your, well, what about man standards? I don't care about your man standards because you cannot take me away from my God, Yahweh,
Okay.
right? And so I will use scripture as well,
Okay.
right? But it seems like you men want men answers, okay?
No. Well, no.
And I'll go
The,
halfway. And
the
society.
topic,
So
Eric.
now I'd have thought as I was thinking, just listening, okay,
Man.
the reason why men now in this age are more feminine, okay, it's
Mhm.
because first off, now that it's slowly getting to the point where it's being accepted, right? And more is just, uh, it's just becoming a freaking, how do I say this? It's becoming a epidemic of bad thinking.
Prove that.
And this whole thing called you need to accept me, accept or tolerate. I can tolerate you as a human being created in Christ Jesus, but you telling me, hey, I identify, me as a white man, identify as a black lesbian. What kind of thinking is that?
Eric, that has nothing
No,
to
no.
do with
Hold on,
gender.
stop.
Eric,
Actually, it
no,
does.
no. We're
It
Well,
having
does.
no, wait,
So here
Eric,
we
listen
go.
to me. I want to say I
Okay.
want to bring up a
Let him
topic really
speak.
quick,
Let him
and this is a intellectual. Actually, let me bring it up on my computer.
oh
I have it.
no,
It's
he
the
got
burden
oh
of
Eric just left.
rejoinder. Oh well, He was
Yeah,
doing a.
because
I
Kanye
can't
keeps
lie, Leo.
interrupting. He keeps
No, no,
interrupting.
no.
He doesn't. He's
We
not.
can't
To
He's
allow.
not
We can't
nice.
have a discussion on something when one person is just describing something the whole
Yes, but
time
you
and
won't
not
let others
allowing
finish, and
others.
you keep
Wait,
asking.
no. First of all, if someone's going to talk the whole time and just explain something,
mm,
then what's the point in us having like a, a
uh,
discussion?
See, this is
yeah.
like the
It's just them
To
2020 debate.
be
explaining
fair,
This is
something.
like
okay. To be fair, Alex, and this is Deluxe, and this is everyone else. I understand that everyone has a lot to say, but make no mistake, in a discussion, like, because you guys seem to want to formalize this as a debate or as preaching. There's a reason debates say you only get this set amount of time, and you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. Because make no mistake, we're not here to be persuasive. We're here to, because this will help all of us, like those who are Christian, those who are wrestling with certain topics, because how you discuss and argue a point of what you're trying to make is critiqued by your hearers and observers. So this is a discussion, and yes, Loxy does have the point, like does have a point to interject if someone has been talking and stating a lot of different points. Now,
all right. So I'm gonna put a list. This is not. These are
mm,
So there is, according to Healthline, there are
Mhm.
68 different genders.
According to
And it
health,
says gender versus sex. Gender is an identity, your personal sense of who you are. The term can also refer to socially constructed categories that relate to what it means. So, like, pink is a girl gender color, I guess is what that means. Sex refers to biological and physiological characteristics, your genitals, hormones, and chromosomes are like your sex. Although many are taught there are only two sexes, male and female, that isn't true. See? So this is the
well,
basis of what
biologically, hold
shush,
up.
stop
You
interrupting.
gotta let me
So
okay.
respond to your point.
To be fair, yes,
I
he
wasn't
is
even
he.
talking to Kanye. I wasn't even
Well,
talking to
this
Kanye.
is a
So he
panel.
doesn't.
This is a panel. We're basically having a bit of a podcast here.
Leo,
So,
we've been talking for 2 hours. I don't think we have any time to lose.
oh my
Anyway,
gosh,
We
Alex.
definitely
as I was going to
points
say,
get
without
passed
being rudely
over, man.
interrupted by the most liberal
Hold up.
person on earth, worse than Barack Obama.
All
As
right,
I was,
Alex,
I can't lie, that was
Alex,
mad funny.
Alex. I'm not the
uh,
one who mute you,
well,
but for
I
now,
muted him for a second
okay. I will
because
say this,
I
but
wanted to respond to his point.
before we continue, if you do want to lead the discussion, because this is just a late light discussion, you don't need to get passionate about it. You don't need to get frustrated. But if you are tired, Alex, like you can walk away from the discussion. Many some people have already, and some people are staying because obviously this is to have a little bit of a back and forth. You seem to be a bit more frustrated. So if you do want to come back, because we could always have something like this tomorrow, we could always have something like tomorrow night and next week, however, and never again, possibly. Who knows? But calm down. Like if you're tired, go to sleep. We can come. We can chalk it up tomorrow. This isn't to make enemies. This is just to discuss the topic because it is interesting how people will like question how one's identity relates to sinful action, and of course, if you are in sin because you identify as this topic of gender, sexes, how people are defining these topics versus biblical reference. This is the meat of the conversation because we want to help people. We want to help people who are wanting to walk with God clearly, like, know where they stand, know what direction to take, and of course, have correct information. Not to say anything here is incorrect or correct, but we want to approach this topic healthily. But with that being said, go ahead, go ahead, Loxy.
Okay. Referring to what he said with the article starts off with false information because it says there are more than two sexes, right? That's just incorrect. There is such a thing called intersex where uh the male ain't that a person will have a male and female both reproductive organs, but that doesn't produce a new sex because that's not exactly what sex is categorized off. Like if we go up to sex, the definition, chiefly free with reference to that's not the definition we're looking for.
All right, I'll mute
Okay,
you.
here we go.
I'll unmute you when
It's
he's
either
finished.
it's either of the two major forms of individuals that occur in many species and that are distinguished respectively. That's not the right one either. Give me a second. Damn. Oh, my bad. My bad.
Like, thank you.
My bad.
This is a Christian panel. Let me stop. Well, this is, but
No instruction and sometimes behavior organisms that distinguish males, females. It basically what it comes down to actually is like their chromosome count. Is basically what us getting at. And in these intersex instances, they still do have a primarily like a male or female chromosome count, which you can use to determine their sex. And while intersex is still a term that exists and they do have both reproductive organs, it's not a new sex. Okay, you
okay.
can get unmuted now.
Okay.
No,
Well, before we
it's done.
start, let me look at what these this website that he put in general neutral pronouns. These pronouns aren't stereotypically or culturally categorized as masculine or feminine or for men or for women. General neutral pronouns are used by both cisgender and transgender individuals as a way to affirm and convey important information about who they are and how they want to be referred to. And of course, the examples are they, them, theirs, Z, here, hers, Z,
Wait, what part are you on,
theirs.
Leah?
Oh, I scrolled down to general neutral pronouns. I didn't even know that this is wild. It says Z, here's. I'm sorry, I am butchering this. Hers, ze, zir, zeers, exum.
What are you talking about? Gender neutral pronouns? Didn't it just say her?
Okay, listen. No, it's HIR, not HER. I don't get it. I don't.
Oh,
I'm learning about this as I'm
oh.
looking at this, and I'm just like, huh. I like, this is interesting. This is interesting. I've never heard of these. I've heard of the they them theys, but I've never heard of the Z here
So
hires or
can I say
whatever it
something
is.
now?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna say a couple things. Number one, it's funny how, and do not mute me. It's funny how you let him finish, but somehow when he interrupts me, there's no punishment. But no more talk about that. I'm not
Oh my
arguing with that.
gosh.
That's just something to put on the table. Number two, this is the type of person that wrote the article. Look at him. Anyway, that doesn't matter.
Hmm?
I'm not making fun of his looks, but I'm saying, come on, you know, the gayest guy on the block. Anyway, second of all, I'm not
Wow.
mad. I'm just frustrated that somebody just constantly interrupts. I mean, that's next to people putting words in my mouth. That's probably my second biggest pet peeve, and I apologize too. I was
Hmm.
interrupting, maybe not to the same degree, but I was interrupting. Third of all, these are all gender constructs. And also, yes, you are right, Kanye. There are only two sexes. But this is the type of article our generation, aka Re or Ray, goes to for information. They say there's four sexes. They said there was something else. Not only intersex, this is something called difference of sexual development. So you're right. There's only two sexes, but this is where people are getting their info from. It is
Well,
a bunch
you would
of
have to prove that,
propaganda delusion.
Alex.
And see, look at that again. Just interrupting again. You got to talk way longer. Let me
Okay,
finish, please.
go
Give me
ahead.
a
Let
second.
him finish.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I mean, the whole argument is really stupid. It's really stupid.
Also, write
Because you
write
look, look,
down
look at this.
like
Wait,
write
Look at
down
this.
everything. Oh,
Look
I'm
at
sorry.
okay.
this.
I'm sorry because I do like
Let me make something
if we're
clear,
gonna continue,
please.
write down like because we're gonna let him speak. We are gonna let him speak, Kanye. But write down anything you have like write down like just take little notes just so you can interject and essentially.
Or actually, wait. Could you please actually just do this while you're speaking about it?
Hmm.
Just give the general consensus of the points you're talking about in talk here. Because when you talk about so many different things, it's hard to address every single point. If I can't just like
Why do
refer
we
to
need you
one
to
point
address
at a
every single
time.
point?
Why do we need to address every single? Because every single point of it's
I don't need you
important.
to, I said.
Hmm.
I don't
Also,
need you.
Elohim,
This is the
you can keep
discussion, though.
talking.
This is
Also,
a discussion.
side note, Pastor Roy, welcome to the party. Well, we're having a conversation. We're like I don't know how long you can stay, and I don't know if like where you came from, but uh we're having a conversation on I guess how one identifies themselves, how it relates to the influence it has over their sex, and in relation to like biblical reference and what is sinful and what is considered sinful and what is considered in agreement with God. And obviously, like in the midst of this topic, sorry to put you there, Reed, but it's interesting because like, confirms they are a biological boy, but they identify um what is it, gender neutral. N-
Agender. It's called
Okay,
agender
okay,
also.
but I'm gonna let their words speak for themselves. Gender neutral, and Alex, an earlier uh truth apologetics would say no, like it's not enough for you to identify that you're a biological boy. You gotta drop the the
They
gender
feel like
neutral thing.
mental ill.
Well, okay, breathe. But drop the gender neutral thing because even that's a sin. And I find this interesting because isn't confirming that one's biology is what it is in agreement with God. But they'd say no. I like how one identifies their gender um plays into this too, and they're still in sin. So that's where the conversation is now. Like Alex is heated up. He is ready to rumble. Also, he's tired. And Loxy does want to attack a lot of things that he says because he, like Eric, will say a lot, like essentially just give their full conclusion, like everything that they want to lay on the table, and then drop the topic. So we're having a bit of an issue here.
Hmm. So, I guess what you're saying is somebody in here. I guess I'm is identifying outside of being a man.
Uh,
It's a
mm,
Yes.
man.
I don't answer that, Ree. Yeah, why don't you answer that? Okay, Ree just said I am a male. So unless there's more to that
Reed does
question, Pastor,
identify as a male.
well, let's see what Ree has to say towards that. 'Cause I do want people to speak for themselves.
Oh, are they? Oh, Reed, can you talk on the
Uh, They're
pastor?
they're not comfortable speak like using their voice mic yet, which is fine. But
They don't want.
yeah. So
Well, I'll tell you this.
all right,
This is
Alex, no more noises. Or I'm gonna mute you
Sorry,
again.
sorry.
this is a safe place, Reed. It's okay to talk. Um, if you gotta realize at times, I say this: if you're comfortable with what you say you are, and that's what you identify as, you should. It should matter to talk to us. I mean, but you don't have to. Um, I just when I hear people's voice, it really helps me to hear their heart.
Hmm.
Versus the text is always an assumption. What I mean is, if you're like Pastor, I uh, I disagree with you. Now, if I heard you say it, I can actually hear your voice because your voice will tell me how much you disagree. Right? If it's a little or a lot, okay. I think I'm just talking a little out of my head because I'm tired. I just saw it was a bunch of people in the party. But I will say this: there was a young man who came in here and wanted us to identify him as something, as a girl, and he wanted us to call him ma'am, and we wouldn't call him
Mental
ma'am.
ill.
And what he did is, about a year later, he came back. It was actually this year. He came in here. Me and Eric were in here, and he said, we talked to him, and he said, I'm sorry about that, guys. That was like a phase for me. I was
Hmm.
just
Yep.
caught up in all that stuff, and
Exactly.
he said I felt like I had to, like, I was expressing myself, but he said I don't think like that anymore.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
And he actually came to me and Eric in here and told us, if Eric was in here, Eric knows exactly, or Jaden, they know exactly who he is. Because I told him respectfully, I'm not gonna call you that. But if you ask me like by your name, because now I want you to think of this. Let me
It was
just
Ash. I
don't
remember. It was my friend.
don't think Pastor shooting shots. but this is how you know you're being indoctrined. Straight people never introduce their gender or their identity. We start with our name,
Sheesh.
All
right?
right,
Because
Alex,
we
calm
don't.
down.
What I'm saying is
That's
we don't have an identity. There's no identity crisis to us because
dang.
we're not indoctrined to think we're straight. We know it's just natural. As in your generation, um, how do I say this? I don't want to sound mean or shoot shots at you. I'm just saying I do a lot of witnessing, and I win a lot of people to Christ. And I've noticed one thing with your generation Z. Some of the Z is revolting against LGBTQ. And what it is when I say revolting, this is what I'm catching from them. You were all good until you started sticking your fingers in things you shouldn't have been sticking your fingers in. Then when I saw you do that, then I got to see who you really are. You got people who are Democrats who supported you and you're canceling them. That shows me your true colors. Do you realize that a lady who was a chairman of LGBTQ got cut down, canceled, called racist? Do you know why they canceled her? They put her on TV. It was a white lady because she said, I am a lesbian and I like women. And they said LGBTQ said to her, she said, they interviewed me. It's just kind of strange. And they said, well, what about trans women? And she said, no, I prefer women that are born women.
Foolish either way.
Oh my goodness. They crucified this girl over that. They crucified her. They cut her off, kicked her out. They belittled her, put her on social
But
media, put her down. And
like it,
you know what she did? She reached out to the right, because it seemed like the right wing was the only one that would listen to her, right, and hear her out, because a lot of the left shut her down because they all fell into support. I've been watching Democratic people put these guys down because they said, listen, one guy said, I never thought a day when a movie producer is told how to make a movie. This far left needs to stop doing that. You don't need to tell us how we can talk or how we produce movies. Right? If a man wants to, like, and I agree, if he wants to make a movie with all white people in it, he can do that. He doesn't have to put one black person in there. He doesn't have to put an Asian person in there. He can make it a karate movie, Japan, with just straight white people. He can do that. That's why there's nothing in the world. If you can call yourself a male when you're a female or a female when you're a male, then why can't a person go to Japan and make a movie full of white people? But no, we
Well,
can't because that's
Jacob,
not culture appropriation. That's
Jacob,
disrespectful to the culture.
can
So
I
I'm
interject
saying,
really quick?
sure, go ahead.
Okay. Just like how with like I see Breach typing in chat a lot, but like they always stop typing. It's you're moving on from your points too fast, and you're not allowing them to like comment on
Oh, I'm
anything.
sorry. I'm not even reading them. I'm sorry. That's because I was hoping. I'm sorry. I'm so used to people talking to me.
Yeah,
I'm
because
sorry. Do y'all
only
want?
It's all right,
yeah, because
Pastor.
I
only
It's
didn't.
always
because you
good.
have
It's
I
always
had
good to
no
give.
idea. I'm
to
not even
waste.
looking. Y'all, I'm sitting in
Okay, well, Tanya.
my lazy boy just kicked back. I'm not. I'm on my cell phone. I'm not even reading it. I apologize. I apologize. Let me read what you're saying, because I'm just jibber jabbering. All
That's
right,
all right,
hold on. Where?
Pastor.
Yeah, but he woke up, dude. He literally woke up and chose to speak the most amount of facts I've ever heard anybody say.
That
It's
was a lot of. That
hilarious.
was a lot of it.
You're
It's
going
like
against factual information, Kanye. You're going against the facts. I'm sorry, I don't care if facts hurt your feelings. They're the facts. They don't care. Facts are factual
You've
information.
denied many facts I brought up to
The facts you brought up are
you.
altered and dirty and clouded. Get out of
wow.
my face.
The facts,
Well,
how can a
here's what
fact
here.
be altered? It's a
Okay,
fact.
here's what like
So
I'm not gonna debate
Eli agrees
statements,
with me
but
that
what
you're
I
wrong
will
about the
say is
facts.
this: like
Agreed.
I am like I like where both sides are coming from, but I don't see like 'cause like I'm not saying don't stand firm in where you believe because that's what I'm gonna do. Like I'm gonna stand firm. Like I don't think this is a that big a okay, Alex. Now remember now. All right, there we go. Um, I'm not going to I guess change your mind. If anything, I want to understand where both sides are coming from. When they say they mean gender, they're really speaking identity. When we say gender, for them this means sex, which as far as they're concerned, they agree with. So for me,
Yes,
the
sir.
question,
Eric is back.
what's up, Eric? Like this like
The
the question.
factual man, the man of facts is
All
back.
right,
The
relax,
man of
calm down,
facts.
kid, calm down.
Ain't no
The
From
man of
relax.
facts.
from okay, for
wait,
me
really quick.
for
Let me say
okay,
something, please.
fine.
Leo, you can get back to it right after this. But
I was just concluding up. But what's up? What you need?
okay, Alex, if you
Yes.
disagree with me on certain topics and you want to challenge those opinions that I have, if you want to, I could debate you and
Just don't
formally,
interrupt.
not just talking for a
Go
certain amount of
against the facts.
like we go point for point and we deconstruct each other's argument and really think about it. All right, I'd be down to do that with you.
Okay, cool. But as
Yes,
far
great and
as
all, but you're going against the facts. It's just
all
gonna
right,
become the same
I don't
argument
because
on.
for
Hold
me,
on, Leo. I just want to say this. It's gonna
you
become the
want he
same
wants to say
argument.
this. You
You've
wants to
already
say
had this
this.
for
You
what?
were talking to me. You're not talking to me.
Mm.
We've already had this for what, 2.5 hours now? It's the same thing. We're arguing if it's sinful or not. And at the end of the day, half of us believe it is. The other two people, two and a half, I don't know what you identify as. I don't care. It's mentally ill. Whatever you identify as, it doesn't matter.
All right,
Okay? At the end of the day, it's wrong. You're going against
all
the
right.
actual information.
Here's what I'm gonna say to stop it because
You're going against the
I'm
facts.
gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I fully agree with how either side has presented this issue because give or take how these people identify, I would have to hear it in its clarity on what this identity means to you and how does it impact like how you reconcile like 'cause you reconcile that you are by like you are that your biology, but is this an attempt to say that you're more than just that, but you agree with said biology? Because if that's the case, then I agree. Then I'm gonna just say okay, then they agree with the Lord. Like, what are we trying to talk about here? But on one side, you're essentially like you're that one guy that comes up to them. And it's like, no, break your toys. This is how you put this. Like, it's like a guy who builds like a leg. Like it's like two kids who builds a Lego castle, and you say no, you built it wrong, and you break it apart and say build it this way. But it's like no, I'm built like the other side say I'm building it this way, and it's like for
But
me,
that's but
I'm the
Leo, I was gonna say, but that's
hold on there, player, because I let you speak and you said you ain't gonna do that. So let me speak. Let me get my full piece out. For me, I question mainly like, do we really understand the breaks? Because how you have
yeah.
engaged this topic and said that it's sinful, I don't agree with, mainly because the way you're speaking past them doesn't make sense given that you're not honoring a common ground of how you guys are utilizing each words. They saying like he's saying no, sex means this, like, and gender is this. What you're saying, I'm saying, what, like, they're literally saying when you say gender, we categorize it as sex, but for you it's the same thing, and you're just speaking past one another. That's not how you have a conversation or a debate. That's
Yeah,
just
I see what you're saying.
that's just speaking past the other person, which again creates an even bigger disconnect of how do you articulate it being sinful when you're not even combating the other side in their logic. You're just speaking past their way of thinking. It's
Hmm.
and that's why I respect your passion, young Alex. I don't necessarily agree with that because I'm like, passion does not win the argument. It's all about breaking
Well, that's
down the
my
other
point
side's
is not to
points,
win the argument.
or better yet,
My point,
or even just have the other side understand what you're saying.
Well,
Like
I
coming
do
to a
got a
common.
question,
Uh,
All right,
guys.
Alex. Enough with the noises. I'm gonna tell you this
Bree, I
one
will
last
abuse
time.
my power. Do not play with me.
All right, you
Bree,
got.
don't play with me.
Yeah, that is the last
Don't play
time.
with
That's the
me.
last time you use a noise. If I hear anything else from
Guys,
you,
over
I'm gonna
here,
mute you.
like, they don't want to talk in VC. You can't force them to. Like,
Hmm.
let them
I'm
speak.
not
If,
Bree,
if,
Bree,
if
Bree, Bree,
no,
Bree,
no,
Bree,
no, let me
Bree,
speak.
Bree.
Let me,
Listen,
if
listen
this
to me.
14-year-old kid can
Listen to
speak
me.
about
You're
what
not going to
then
talk over.
we can talk about how they
I don't
want to.
care. Listen,
It's not
listen,
even fair. No,
listen.
I'm not gonna let this kid
Hmm.
disrespect Ree. I'm not
Hold
gonna
on,
let
hold on, hold
respect.
on, hold on,
No,
hold on. You finna
Okay,
hold on, hold on.
okay, hold on, Mikhail,
No
Mikhail,
woman over
brother,
me, dude. You
brother
better know.
Mikhail, brother Mikhail, brother Mikhail.
No woman is
Slow down,
over me. You better know that I
slow
was
down,
friends.
Mikhail. Okay,
Brother
first of
Miguel.
all, hold on,
Oh, let them go.
hold on. Everything
Mikhail,
just
go ahead.
hold on. Everything just went left side, right side. Let's actually explain what just happened.
Unify.
Mikhail, everyone, all right, Alex. I told you
We
now.
I
went.
do
We
No. I
question.
told you now. But
he,
first
he's
things first,
letting you
Mikhail,
power against
Mikhail, I
me. No,
need you to hold on, Bree. Mikhail, I need you to breathe. That is not what she was trying to do. That is not what Bree was trying to do. She
Well,
was not trying. She
I
was
do
not.
want to
Hold
ask.
on, hold on, Pastor. Hold on, Mikhail. That was not what she was trying to do. She was not
When
trying to
Bree
talk
is
over
trying to
you.
tell me that they
I know.
don't want to talk in voice, of course I understand. But
It's.
don't put the same message over and over
I.
in
I
chat. That's why I
understand.
deleted it.
I understand, but make no
We
mistake.
understand that the gender
I
that you're trying to
understand, but
point
Mikhail,
out.
but Mikhail, you got to communicate that rather than cutting her off when she's been silent throughout this conversation. Remember, we're all brothers and sisters here, and
Listen,
we
I'm
are.
just saying, Bree, don't play with me, dude.
She's
Don't
not
do that.
playing with
Yeah,
you. She's
hey,
not. She's
you
just
yeah.
trying to express herself because she hasn't
Uh,
had a chance to
and
speak.
I do have a question just to remind. Ree, did I'm just asking because I witnessed to a lot of people,
Mhm.
and I mean I know a lot of you guys on the rec room side, and I don't I because a lot of you don't talk. I don't know you very well on the Discord side. Uh, did I meet? Uh, I know I met Alex on Discord. I mean rec room, and let me see. I want to say a couple of you I could have, but I don't know. Um, Bree, did I meet you on Discord, sister?
no, you
I mean,
met me on record.
I
We
meant
were in,
rec. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
we were in freaking, what was it called?
Call of Duty.
No, it was the
Probably the
place with the
black cat.
gondola,
It was the
and you
black
were.
or
It
something.
wasn't Nico Cat. No, it wasn't Black Cat. It wasn't Nico Cafe. It was with mountains. There was a fireplace, and like you were talking about
Oh,
this,
I know. Yes, I know exactly.
the
Okay.
gondola, and then people kept like kicking you out and a
They
bunch of
still,
other stuff.
they still kick me out. They kick me out because I mute them. Because I think it's very rude when someone's talking to me and then you run up on me and then you start screaming in my ear, say, "Hey, hey, hey, hey!" I'll meet you. But okay, so I think I brought you here, didn't I, Ree? Your name just seems familiar, like I've seen this name before.
Are you
But
talking to Bree or Ree?
Yeah, Bree.
Ree,
Well,
Ree,
Ree.
Ree, Ree. Okay. So Bree reminded me. What about you, Ree? Did I bring you in here? Did I meet you from Rec Room?
No. Okay. How did you hear about us then, Ree?
They're my friend. I told y'all this like 9 times.
Oh no, no. Okay,
We're just trying to make sure.
Brother Love is now telling us. Okay, okay. So that makes sense.
Hmm.
Okay, so Ree, I guess the best thing I can tell you from this, how Pastor sees this trans, whatever this is,
Identities.
identities. Thank you. Is when it comes to Christ, a lot of people have identity crisis. People, if they're not identifying in the new way you guys identify, back then there was a time you identified to be like Bobby Brown. Then you had a Tupac complexion. Then you had a 50 Cent complexion. You had a Ja Rule complexion. You had a complexion of R. Kelly. Cisco was like the first black guy Whoever colored his hair yellow with Drew Hill. A lot of black guys were coloring their hair. There's a lot of complexions, right? You got country singers. One country singer comes up with this style, does his hair certain stuff. These white guys, black guys, whoever's watching this, they follow, right? And it's a complexion. You got a guy that goes, I love God, I love guns, and I drink beer. You got like guys buying these T-shirts by the million, right? It's a complex. They see something, they're like, "Oh, that's my logic. Oh, that I like that logic. I'm gonna follow that logic."
Mhm.
When you follow Christ, you got to realize the guy who came up with the love God beer and women or whatever, right? He came up with it with his own mind. Somewhere he had an identity. It's like either he came up with a good slogan or he knew who he was, and he was just stating those are things he liked. Well, a lot of people mimicked him until they made that as a motto. When the movie The Gladiator came out, I had a guy come to me in the bathroom many years ago when I was working at Walmart when I was younger, and he goes, "I go by two mottos: strength and honor." I was like, "This guy is definitely a Gladiator fan." Because he's the only one who said that. I've never heard anybody say that but in that movie. Strength and honor, right? And so they're mimicking something. And when you mimic Christ, you know what's interesting about mimicking him? Is mimicking Christ is like being a caterpillar. And when you break out that, every butterfly is going to look different, act different, and think different to certain things of life. And the same concept, we still can't deny where we came from and who created us. I'm not here to justify this type of thinking, but I'm here to say that in your journey, when you seek Jesus, you'll know exactly who you are. And it's
I'm
so
looking through my
different.
Bible.
And what happens is it becomes so different that people want to mimic it because they don't know how to be anything different. So right now, you're mimicking. You guys are mimicking. As there are Christians, they mimic other Christians. They themselves don't even know how to identify who they are in Christ. They don't even know who they are in Christ. Some are too young to even be on that level because once you start aging, right, you start to learn things more about yourself. And the sad thing is, it's usually with a humble heart of finding out what you're not. And once you discover what you're not, every time Jesus keeps cutting off that the branches on the bush, that's when you start to find out who you are, right? You don't, and so adding on to you, if you want to sag, you want to wear a cowboy hat, you want to be alpha beta, right? Abercrombie kind of person, right? I went to college. I'm one of the top of my class, right? I'm professional. I wear a suit, right? It's just who I am. Well, I mean, there's like billions like you. How many guys run around in a suit, right? That's who they are. It's not who you are. It's just how you dress. Being a lawyer is not who you are. Being a gender is not who you are, right? I'm a straight male. That's not who I am. It never has been who I am. Who you are is cut from anything that's physical, but physical does have an attribute of how you're going to get there, right? So if you're from the Middle East, if you're from Asia, if you're from Europe, Africa, North or South America, if you're from Australia, right? If you live near the equator, wherever you're from on this planet, we all come from somewhere that does affect our journey, right? The hood is not who you are. Black is not who you are. White is not who you are. Man, tell them who you are. I'm a black woman.
I'm a
That's
man. That's why I identify as. Ain't no
so.
nothing.
So what I'm saying is, according to how God created humans, He wants you to see something greater than that. But that's not something you're gonna find out tonight. That's something you gotta find out in your journey with Jesus. When you're on your journey with Jesus, not this is not a journey with Jesus. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for a wonderful day. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this food. Dear Heavenly Father, pray have a good night. Amen. You only talking to Him for prayer. Prayer just means you're communicating to Him. That's not a relationship. You say, well, how do you know that, Pastor? Because the last I checked, when you're talking and I'm talking, we're supposed to communicate. I can't grow with anybody in here if it's a one-way street. You have to tell me about yourself. You have to tell me when you disagree with me. I got to hear your heart, right? I got to learn to play the music of your heart and understand you, right? I have to learn sympathy and to sympathize, right? One comes with an understanding, like I I sympathize with you. I understand why you did it, right? Showing sympathy is when you did it, it comes with mercy, right? I have sympathy for you because you did it. So I can sympathize, but that doesn't mean I I always going to agree that there's mercy to be shown. I can just say I understand, but a friendship starts with understanding first. Well, I'll figure out later what to do. Like, should I show sympathy to that or should I not? But until then, I can sympathize. I can hear you out and listen to you and say, I understand why you choose to call yourself that. I really can, right? So I want to say with the knowledge that Jesus gives us, understanding is important. In the Christian faith, we cannot waver our faith. It's the thing with the sword and the stone. The only one who can pull this from the stone is Jesus, and He's the one who put it there,
Amen.
right? And He's the one who set upon this word, right? On this stone, this is where He lays His foundation, and we as Christians follow. But when we bring people from the outside in, we don't want to use this sword to cut you. That's Jesus' job. I do want to understand, but I must speak the truth. At the same time, I do want to sympathize with you. I want to understand. But I'm here to tell you whatever journey you are on, people have identity crisis all the time. I guarantee you there's going to be a new rapper probably called Baby Gigi Double Gigi Baby Gigi. And we're like, what name is that? It doesn't matter. The guy's got nice bars, right? They're like, let's hear stuff. Abajidi, Habahidi, Snoopy Week. Dang, that boy's a triple platinum. Listen, people sympathize with him, right? They say, I understand him. They're like, what does this record mean? What is he talking about? He's talking about the heart of truth and what's important in life. And all I hear is jibber jabber, right? I can somewhere try to look up those lyrics and sympathize with them. Say, right? Or I can get some form of information. But at the end of the day, I'm still watching this guy talking about that's his man, it's his homie, listens to him all the time, he dresses like him. That's an identity crisis. He's Mr. Baby Gigi Jaja Boo Boo, right? That's who he's identifying to. You're gonna have Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice was a white guy that changed rap for white people, right? You
Man,
think
yeah, Eminem too, Pastor.
Eminem wasn't there at the time? It was Vanilla Ice,
Oh
right?
yeah, they did. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I know. Yeah, yeah, I do. Yeah,
He,
I
he
know you
was
talking
he you know they white people feel like okay, I could flip my hair back with kind of like the wave top, bust, throw on some nice clothes, some pimping, and just start rapping, right? And then Eminem came along. You know how many white people mimicked Eminem, right? How many people colored their hair yellow when he did that? Dude, the guy could have led an army. Like literally, he could have had a bag of Eminem, right? A massive bag. There's identity crisis, right? Here's
Hmm.
another one. Y'all ready? You have this new slogan, this new teaching, right? And this teaching teaches you this, right? What do women bring to the table? Well, first of all, what do you bring? Well, I bring this, right? Well, first of all, let me tell you the truth about it. Tell me, guys, I don't even watch this guy, but I've seen him. Tell me who I'm acting as. Well, first of all, I want to tell you that the truth is the number one important thing about a life is four main primary focuses. Is that you focus on the truth of who you are. You need to get up every day. No, 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 no. You don't focus on that. Women don't do anything. It's a man thing. It's a man's world.
Sounds like Kevin
Those are
Samuels.
right.
Well, when he was alive.
So between that and tape, how many tape clones is there out there?
Ooh, plenty. Plenty. Jade himself wants to be top G.
Okay, the guy literally wanted me to make me and Eric. He was serious. He's like, I want you guys to make me. I'm serious. A name as an admin called Top G. We thought he
You
was
didn't want to
smoking.
make a role.
Dude, we thought he was smoking. Like that'll never happen. You're not gonna take God's ministry and make it into a laughing stock.
Identity
Negative,
crisis.
right?
Hmm.
So here's what I'm gonna say to you, Reed. There's a lot of identity crises out there. A lot. There's a lot of people. I don't just see it in LGBTQ. I see it in a lot of things. I even see it in my own people.
Hmm.
You got people walking around and they're very quick to shoot shots at other preachers, and they carry this type of pattern in them, like they are truly the sons of God that sit on the right hand side of Jesus, right? And when they speak, you listen, and they know the word of the Lord. And when you don't agree with them, you are wrong. For their words are as written as the stone that God has placed the sword in, but that is not the sword, for it is their sword of Jesus.
Hmm.
There is no sword of Jesus, only their sword of Jesus, which means they're not willing to hear the middle truth. They just don't want to hear any of that garbage.
Hmm.
It's only their way or the highway, and they're identifying to some form of group. It's Baptist, it's Presbyterian, it's Catholics, right? You got like once saved, always saved. You got guys that just start debates right now. You got a young guy studying once saved, always saved, and they're having an identity crisis
Hmm.
with this. Like there, it has to be it, and it's an itch. It itches. I gotta debate somebody. And guess what? That all comes from a source. Pastor so and so on YouTube and Pastor so and so agrees with what I'm saying. And they got their degrees in so and so. So I'm telling you, Riaz, there's a lot of identity issues out there. There's a lot of them, buddy. And so, where do we all go from here, Reed? Just focus on Jesus. Let him help you. Not just pray to him. Talk to him. Let him talk back to you. Right? It's kind of like this old song we used to sing. This is the air I breathe. This is the air I breathe. Right? So it's Jesus, right? Jesus is the air we breathe. You breathe them in. It's like the force. Remember what Luke was teaching Ray? Breathe it in. Breathe it in, right? Well, you
Supposedly, she's stronger now than Luke. I'll tell you later, Pastor. I'll tell you later.
so what I'm telling you is this. I don't know what you believe. I just kind of came in here late, Ree. From Pastor's Bell, there's two kinds of LGBTQs I've come across. Those that will humble themselves and those that will not. Right? At the end of that's why I was telling you when I get up or when I explain myself, I never think of my gender. I don't think about my sex. I don't think about my race. I think that I am a man of God who's falling. I'm a human being on my knees to Jesus at the end of the day. And so what I'm saying to you is when your gender, right, what's between your leg or what's in your brain gets in the way of the cross, that's not a Jesus issue, that's a you issue. That's something in your heart you're dealing with. Listen, Ree, if anybody knows you, Jesus. If anybody understands you, it's Jesus. If anybody has sympathy for you and loves you, it's Jesus. Right? That song, y'all remember that song by what's his name? It's the white guy with the beard. He sings so good. He is jealous for me. His
Chris
love.
Tomlin, Allsbury, or
No, that's
um,
not Chris Tomlin. It's a white guy with a beard. He's skinny.
he
Right?
is he is jealous for me, or what?
Yeah.
What?
All right. Listen to the first part of that song, Ree, and you need to remember that first part. He
Oh, David
is
Crowder,
jealous for me. His love's like a hurricane. I am the tree beneath his
David.
trees,
Yeah.
the wind and the waves of his mercy. So remember that first part. He is jealous for me. But Pastor, but what if I'm trans? What if I'm trans gay? What if I'm trans gay bi? What if I'm trans gay circled XYZ double TXY? He's still jealous for you. You know that? He's still jealous. Well, what if I was a rapist, perverted pedophile or killer? He's still jealous for you. As surprising as that is, he's still jealous for you. How is he jealous? Because his love is not our love. His thoughts
We're
is
not our his ways are not our ways.
he doesn't act nothing like us, right?
Thank you.
So he's jealous for you. So I could tell you this. So here's Pastor's biggest tip for you. Instead of focusing on what your gender or sex is, focus on who Jesus is in your life. Because Jesus is like Tarzan and you're like Jane. You're in a jungle in this world, and that's the only person that's going to keep you alive. Everything from the big snakes to the gorillas to the tigers to the leopards to every creature, Tarzan is the king of the jungle, right? And just like that, Jesus will lead you. Jesus is like Cortana to Master Chief. It's like the ghost to the Destiny Warriors, right? On Destiny 1 and 2. It's the one that guides you, right? Without the ghost, you couldn't go to level, you couldn't get anywhere. That's like that little bitty robot, that little bitty machine that you find when you're playing Borderlands. You have to pick it up and put it on. It's like, and it shows you your ammo, your health, right? And it helps keep up with your quest. And then You talk through it, right? That lady talks to you on it. What that's like Jesus, right? You don't play the game going, well, I think I'm gonna be my I just want to identify myself as a robot who's like a has who has pet animals, like in Borderlands 3. Or identify as a soldier female who can transform into this big machine that fights. You just you just play the game, right? And so in your life, just go where Jesus takes you. The character doesn't define you, you define the character, right? And it's all defined by someone else who has had it written. Your story's already written, right? So you can unravel who you are through Christ, or you can write your own story, right? So you can make a present and wrap it up and say, I know what's in it. Right? That's just a guessing game where you can go to God and He'll tell you exactly who you are. Because at the end of the day, He's the one who made you. He knows exactly who you are. So I won't say anymore. I'm gonna be quiet. Better gonna shut up. So, oh man.
Wise words, Pastor. Let me go to general text chat real quick. Okay.
Alex is on timeout for an hour.
Golly, what did he do this time? What in the world?
Don't get mad.
I'm not.
Eric asked me to give him
I.
admin real quick, and
I ain't. Hey, like I
Eric put him
said,
on timeout.
I like all I'm gonna say is like you are my co
Eric,
you are
like,
my
that pistol
co-moderator,
ready
so
like that.
I ain't arguing with that. Go ahead, pass my bad.
The reason why I timed him out was because he was being really aggressive with Re.
Do we need to delete any of his chats? Was he being just needlessly
He
combative
was
or?
saying he wants to. I think it was talking about he wants to kill gays.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Okay, so essentially he's just he lost his
Let,
mind.
let me let me double check. I know I broke a rule, but I had to. No one else was gonna do it, so.
I actually
But
wasn't paying
I
attention. I
don't
was
have
just listening to Pastor.
the role anymore, so.
That's all right.
Eric grabbed that pistol. He's like, let me see that revolver right there. And Eric's like, let me check. Bullets are in there.
Yeah, he says.
Uh,
Oh wait, no, sorry. Never mind. He didn't say that. He just
for
said,
me,
"Bro, you must think I want to kill all fellows." Yeah,
for
never
me,
mind.
we've already told him chill out this entire night, and I'm like, come on,
He
Alex.
is a nuisance
He
as
has
of
been.
tonight.
He has been. I am not even gonna lie.
That dude is
Wise
a nick.
words. So
I
yeah,
ain't gonna lie.
But
like
guys,
in conclusion,
can we remember when everybody at one time, Aaron's been in there too. All
yeah,
right, we've all
we love him.
somewhere in here. A lot of you guys were in new. So remember, now I'm just humble. I'm not bringing up anyone's past. I ain't gonna say anybody. Well, I'll bring up Aaron because he's not here. But remember when Aaron was a nuisance and he was talking about killing people. He was dropping the N-bomb a lot. And guess what? Everybody in here was upset. Well, remember when I kicked him out? He cried. That kid flipped his lid.
Hmm.
He went so
Good.
berserk that he cried. He raged and cried. And then he told his mom. You remember that? I had to tell her, listen, I respect your mom, but she don't run him in DJC, right? You can't come in here doing that to people. You can't be disrespecting people like that. So you remember, guys, at one time we were all like that.
Of course, and like that's what I was. That's why I've been reasoning with to the
Oh
best of
my
my
gosh.
ability, even holding back Mikhail because Mikhail wanted to deal with him early on, Pastor. Like he wanted to get that man Mikhail's about to unleash a few shotgun shells of punishment on this poor kid. Like he was like about to like I'm like hold on Mikhail, don't do
No,
because
you about to get Bree. About to jump on Bree. That's like
yes.
Bree didn't barely said a word.
Dude, I can't stand rec room girls, Pastor. I'm sorry. Bree came from rec
Bro,
room. She got that attitude, bro.
All right.
I
All I'm
can't
gonna
no,
do
say
it.
is, all I'm gonna
she
say
didn't
is,
have it like
I'm
that
gonna
bad.
leave
She was just upset. She felt that somebody was getting mistreated.
and getting and considering y'all did ultimately have to mute Alex. I mean, she was pretty much right. But I guess given that the discussion so far is at a close, I guess I'm gonna pray us out. Pastor, you came in late, but I wanted to try out a little bit of podcasting style in that like I'm live streaming our Discord discussion because like I felt like where this conversation started was interesting in that how are we defining words and how does this relate to the Christian life? Because obviously we want people to look more like Jesus. We want the transformative work of Christ to reign in you. But somewhere along the line, we conflate beating someone over the head with scriptures and riding over what they're saying with what we're saying instead of understanding the person. So the conversation earlier was a bit more fruitful than what I have been recording so far, which is unfortunate. I mean, Alex was a bit more of a nuisance than I was expecting, but that's all right. Nevertheless, hopefully we can have more fruitful discussions, not just about this topic, but any topic really, because
No, I got a
there is
lot
a
of topics. Y'all
yes,
should
sir.
see my interviews. I see the ones. Well, I don't know if I had them. I bet Brother McKell seen them. I interviewed black girls on some topics, white girls on some topics, girls in general on some female topics. I interviewed one of them. I still haven't got a lot in, but is white privilege a real thing? If it's so, how? Right? I was just listening,
Hmm,
right? And the thing was actually not a debate. I just wanted to hear people out.
hmm,
All right. I think my favorite one. Why are black women so angry against Jesus, this young generation, and so aggressive? And I think it was a Mexican lady gave me one of the best. I even wrote it all down. I wrote everything down.
hmm.
And
All right.
it's something about black women. I'm going to give you a little tip.
All right,
Why?
we'll go into that
Yeah,
though in the
yeah,
future.
yeah,
I'm just finna end the stream here as far as with the live because
Oh, you're streaming right now?
yep.
I didn't know you were streaming. Sorry, you
No,
shouldn't get.
no,
I
you're
thought you were
good. You're
just.
good. You did great, Pastor.
You
You
said
gave us some good
so
words of
many
wisdom.
words.
Like cause I liked how. Oh, nevertheless. Hello guys. Thank you for whoever tuned into to this live stream. This topic is obviously heavily heavily debated in Christianity, like how one reconciles with one's sex and their identity, and how we look at one another is given we are all affirming Christians in this room. Though Pastor Roy was looking like he didn't know, I thank him for showing up halfway through though, because we need to be reminded constantly that no matter where we stand on how on our different opinions on things, we need to relate back to the core, the thing that anchors all of us, and that's the love of Jesus. Because as he says, love others, rather a new commandment I give unto you, love others as I have loved you. I thank my team for showing up, and giving different diverse opinions, and like, comment, share, and subscribe because this is a new thing I'm trying out, and I will continue to do this. Nevertheless, thank you guys for tuning in, and God bless. All right, I'm gonna end the stream now, guys. I'll be right back.